Okay, we have Brad Hogg with us, and I'm so sorry to interrupt on your reading time, but
Yeah, I'm just going through the Sachin Tendulkar book and just seeing if he actually reminisces about the time that I got him out once,
oh,
um, but I can't find it. And I'm looking in the index as well, and I can't see one GB Hogg. So Sachin, you've got to rewrite the book or update it. Uh, but it's a good
that's
read.
an important piece of history that should be in there.
No, a little bit of a gag there, but no, what an absolute legend, Sachin Tendulkar, and we've got rid of a couple of legends in Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli out of the Indian
Oh
Test
yeah,
team now. Who's going to come through and be the next legend? So that's probably one thing that we're going to find out in the next couple of years.
absolutely, and especially England will be a litmus test for this new young team with Shubman Gill at the helm, and now all eyes are on Shubman Gill and his men and how they prepare for this grueling five-match Test series. But of course, joining us here is Brad Hogg, and who better to talk about the role of spin in English conditions than Brad Hogg, and someone who's mastered the art himself. But thank you so much for being here. Hope you're doing well, Brad. I really wanted to start off by talking about Kuldeep Yadav because,
Yep.
Michael Clark has spoken about it. Many pundits have said that he could be the trump card for India in England. And from one Chinaman to another, how do you assess, first of all, before we start with England, how do you assess, how he's evolved in the past couple of years and now he's making his comeback in the Test team?
Look, I think it's just great. And any young fella out there or young player out there, whether male or female, you're going to have your ups and downs as you go through your career. And Kuldeep Yadav has had that. And you have a taste of international cricket, then you've got to go back and reassess. Right, I've had this taste. I've got these skills. This is where I was really strong. This is where my weaknesses are. What do I have to add to my game, both physically, technically, and mentally, to make sure that when I get that next opportunity, I'm right for the picking and I'm ready to go. And most of it with Kuldeep Yadav was just trying to get his action a little bit straighter, come over the top and get a little bit more overspin. But the other thing is just that belief within himself as well to be in that contest. And mostly anyone out the top of their game or playing at the highest level, you've got the skill. Mainly, it's about the mental process, and I think he's really improved there as well as getting that overspin. And I think he really needs that overspin over in England.
Yeah, and when you talk about Kuldeep's skill set, especially, he has been more consistent without losing that aspect of mystery. What do you think has been, the secret behind that?
Oh, just a more stable foundation out the crease. Beforehand, he was sort of moving that front foot across. He was bringing his front arm across his body as well. So he's bowling more front on, but he's a little bit more side on at the present moment. And that's creating that consistency, and he's getting better shape on the ball as well. And every now and then he's going to lose that. Shane Warne, he went through his ups and downs with his action as well, but he knew what his foundation was, and he knew when he was actually losing it, and he had those little triggers to be able to get back on song and get that action in sync and get the delivery that he wants out the other end. And I think over in English conditions, especially with England, who love to sweep against mystery spin, against the likes of Kuldeep Yadav, you do need that ball to have that extra bounce so that you get that top edge as well. And I think that's one thing that Kuldeep has really added to his armoury. He's got great variation. He's very hard to pick. And I think it's great that he's back in that Test team. And I think he is going to be the difference in this series.
Now, if you were to give Kuldeep an advice on how to bowl in English conditions that necessarily do not suit spin, and what pace to bowl at, how do you outwit the batters over there?
Oh, look, I think you adjust to each different ground that you play in over there, and I think with the Duke ball is a little different as well. I found the Duke ball rather slippery when I was playing over in English conditions. I preferred the white ball game over there with the Kookaburra. You seem to have more grip. So I think that's one thing with players that are playing all formats and in different conditions and having a variety of balls. You've got to have those balls in your bag and make sure you just pull them out every now and then and get used to them and keep that grip. And that's one thing that I really loved about Ashwin, and I think Kuldeep Yadav could learn from Ashwin, is that if there was a challenge out there, something that was a little different that you had to learn and grow your game, he went out there and just trained hard and really took on those challenges. And one of those challenges is working with the Duke's ball. But Kuldeep's been over to England before. He's had a taste of it, so he knows. As long as he's learnt from those experiences over in England beforehand, whether it's just in the nets or so forth, as long as he learns from them, talks to Jadeja, who's been over there a long period of time as well, he'll be able to get those coping mechanisms and get the right plan in place to be able to really ignite over there in England. I think England is a great place to bowl spin, especially leg spin. Shane Warne loved it over there. Stuart McGill loved it over there. I loved it over there. It's just one of those things for leg spinners. It's great conditions if you can get the ball in the right area.
Would you play him in Leeds? Would you have him in the playing 11?
I'd play him in every team. If I was going through the Indian bowling lineup, I'd probably have Jadeja in there as one of the options, batting deeper down. You would have Pandya batting at number 6. I think Pandya's over there, isn't he? Just let me get there. Who have we got over there? Who's the keeper that we're going to have over there?
We've got Rishabh Pant, Dhruv Jurel, and KL Rahul.
What was it? I was saying Pandya, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I was saying Pandya. Look, we're doing this during the World Test Championship, so Australia are playing over there. So Pant, you have Pant coming in at 6, Jadeja coming in at 7, and you've got that all-round ability there. Then Kuldeep, and I'd have Bumrah. Arshdeep Singh, I think you need a left-arm bowler there. Yeah. And I'd go with Pradesh as well. But Pradesh has got that extra height. Really loving what he's got out at the moment. He's got plenty of energy, and with that extra height and bounce, he adds that variety. So you've got left-arm variety there in your pace, a little bit of height, and then Bumrah with his reverse swing and natural swing as well. And then you've got 2 spinners there. The reason why I did bring up Pandya is I would have liked the medium pace all-rounder over there, but he's not in that particular squad. So I'd definitely go with Jadeja in that lineup. And you can also have Reddy batting down in the lower order as well with his little medium paces. So India have got good balance there in their bowling department. It's just the batters.
You have Shardul Thakur as an option as well.
Yeah, the thing with Thakur, and I'm sorry about this, Shardul Thakur, and any fans out there with Thakur. The thing with him, I love his all-round ability, but I just think he's let himself down over his career with his fitness. I just don't think he's looked after himself, and I don't know whether you can have him in that lineup. I'd still stick with Jadeja. I think Jadeja adds better depth with your batting. And you might be able to have Reddy in there as well with the bat and just bowling a few medium paces, but I don't think you can go in there with Thakur. I just don't think he's fit enough. I don't think he would play all 5 test matches. I think if you rock up and conditions look as though or the pitch is green and it's going to seam and it looks as though it's going to be overcast for 3 or 4 day period through the test match, you might think about playing Shardul Thakur. But I wouldn't be rushing in there if and having him in my main 11. I just don't think his fitness will be up to it for the 5 test matches.
Yeah. Now you started the show by saying that you've got you don't have a Rohit Sharma and a Virat Kohli anymore. Now that's a gaping void in the dressing room when it comes to experience, when it comes to batting ability.
Yep.
How does the team tackle with that?
Look, it's very simple. I think Gambia, the coach there, I think he's the right man for this job. He reminds me of a Justin Langer, where you need someone who's strong out the helm to take the fire, but also to bring these young troops through. We've seen him do it out KKR. KKR had success with him there. So he has that ability to bring the young troops through. So I think he's fantastic. I'd like to see Naya play a lot more. I'm just going to put my glasses on because I've got the lineup there. Shubman Gill will be opening the batting, and I'd have him opening the batting with Jaswell probably. Then you got coming in at 6, as I said, but you'd have KL Rahul, Naya there, and I'm just trying to figure out who would you have in there as well. I'd actually have Sadarasan in there as well, coming in at number 3.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of youth up there. Sadarasan, the way that he played in the T20 games, I just thought he's got a fantastic technique. Just love the way that he plays the ball late. He's able to hit those gaps behind point while still playing a straight bat and work off his pads. So I think he's got an excellent technique there of playing the ball late. I'd like to have him batting, opening the batting, and might have Gill at number 3, but I still like that right-hand, left-hand combination. And I think Sadarasan's probably going to be the best bat out of those 3 going forward. So I think he's probably best suited out 3 or maybe 4, and have the experience of Naya coming in out 3. And then you have Rahul and Pant and Jadeja coming in that middle order, where you've got that experience. And hopefully the new ball, the shine's been taken away from the new ball. They can really stamp their authority there and then go into that second new ball and really take the game away from England. So that's how I'd really go about it with the lineup that they've got there now, or the squad that they've got. I think Naya, I think he definitely needs another opportunity. He was a shining light there when he first came on the scene. Give him another opportunity, and I just love the way that there was a few touches of his brilliance through the IPL. I know that's T20 cricket, but he's got a solid defence. Get him in there.
Well, talking about Shubman Gill, there's a lot of weight on his shoulders at this point, but and England can be the make or break, and the later series as well. But is there more pressure, do you reckon, on Gill the batter or Gill the captain?
Look, if I was the BCCI and management of BCCI, I would be going over to England and going, right, we really want to win this series, but we've got a new team, we've got a new captain. We have to make sure we give all of these youngsters the support that they need moving forward. We're going into a new era. So we're going on to opposition into foreign territory. So for me, it's just about supporting and learning. It's about the future, not about so much today. Yes, we all want the success. We all want that win today. But if they lose the first test match, it's about how they rebound from the second test match. And one thing that I'll be really looking at is how these youngsters adapt to test match pressure and how they're growing throughout the series. And with that growth throughout the series, once they find their feet at this arena, Gill finds his captaincy. The other players that are just starting out, Sadarasan and Jaswell, are getting more exposure. As they start to find their feet and really take control and take over the mantle of Rohit, Sharma and Virat Kohli, and they really find that culture within there, all of a sudden they can really take the game away. So for me, I'm not really worried. I wouldn't be worried about too much with the first couple of test matches. It's more at the back end. How has this team grown moving forward? And once they get a strong culture and they build that strong culture and they've had a few lessons of losses, and then they turn those losses into wins, they become a stronger unit, and they're learning, they're growing, and they'll be better off for it down the track. And when they come back down to Australia, because they've had that tough initiation as a new group in England, they'll be better fit for to take on Australia down here, which is probably the second hardest tournament that they'll have outside of their country. Actually, should I say the hardest? England's a little bit easier.
All right. Well, I'm talking about Jasprit Bumrah. Now we know that he's going to be playing a maximum of 3 test matches. Now, when you take that into consideration, how is the Indian bowling attack looking?
Oh, look, I think the Indian bowling lineup is very well balanced. I think Krishna, who I alluded to earlier, I think he's got the fitness, he's got the capability of playing all 5 Test matches, and I think he's going to be the glue of this bowling attack. When I say the glue of this bowling attack, I mean that he's there for the five Test matches. So he's what you're basing the attack around. Bumrah's coming in for 3 Test matches. You've got to be very strategic with those 3 Test matches. Where are you going to get the most benefit out of him? Because he can turn the game, he can turn the series on its head. So you want to make sure that you play him out Lords definitely, and probably Warwickshire. And I don't know where you'd play him in the other 3 Test matches, but you want to make sure you play him in those crucial games where I probably wouldn't even play him in the first Test match actually, and I'll just go, right, England, we don't have Bumrah, and you could just see England going, oh, they don't have Bumrah, that's good, we don't have Bumrah. But then they were going to worry about him in the second Test match, and if he turns the tide in the second Test match, then all of a sudden England are playing catch up rather than so forth. So I'd have a little bit of byplay there. But Siraj or Akashdeep, I love Siraj's energy, so I'd be swapping Bumrah and Siraj, just rotating those two, and I'd be having Krishna as my bowler that plays the whole time. Akashdeep, I think he would be great in Lords using that slope, but I just think you need that extra pace and bounce, so that's probably why I'd play Siraj in front of Arshdeep Singh when Bumrah is not there. Oh, but not Arshdeep Singh, Akashdeep. You've got to have Arshdeep Singh in there because he's a left-hander and he just adds that different angle.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Brad. That was a lovely chat. Thank you so much for being here and giving us your time. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Gangi. And I'm going to get back to my book.
Of course.
Right, there we go. Well, some good pictures in here. Thanks very much, guys.
All right. See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.